to the weekend, everyone.
Welcome to the weekend, everybody. It's Thursday. Just hang on. We're almost there to Fabulous Friday. You can get your rest on Saturdays. And now we are here. My name is Corey. I'm the blind guy.
I'm his wife, LaQuita Marie.
And welcome to Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life Live. This is a show where you get a chance to interact with me as a blind guy, with her as my wife, find out how we do life, and change the narrative of normal, or what it means to be normal, by shifting your focus from disabilities to people with different abilities. This is going to be a fun 30 minutes that you're going to have right now, so sit back and relax and enjoy as we introduce you to today's word on the street. And we're going to also introduce you to we introduced you to the real life Princess Tiana yesterday. Now you're going to get to meet her real life Prince Naveen as he comes forward to share with you his artistic skills, Mr. Broderick Antoine.
So just so you guys know that today's guest, Broderick Antoine, he is an artist. And when I tell you that we're going to have some fun with, just like hanging out with his Instagram, so that way you guys can find him. You'll be able to see all of his work. These are not pictures that he's taken. These are pictures that he has drawn. So, guys, we're going to have some fun with that.
So with that being said, again, we're going to have our word on the street. We're going to have our special guest, Mr. Broderick Antoine, and our wonderful chef, LaQuita Marie, is going to share with you today's plant-based treats.
That would be me. I'm the chef. I do my thing in the kitchen to make sure my husband and my family gets fed.
Why you have to say husband like that? My husband and my family.
Corey, we know that you influence the kids. If you eat the food,
That is true.
They will eat the food.
So dads realize that mom's the one cooking. If we eat the food, and the more we get into eating it, the more the kids will get into eating it. So she's exactly right with that. And so today, like I said, is a special guest. He's worked with us on our Harambe for the holidays, annual Kwanzaa stage play production.
And that is the reason why you should partner with us, guys. We are constantly working towards that goal of paying for production costs and all of those things. So partner with us. You can cash app us at Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. And this year's show, if you look at the ticker right there at the bottom, it is called A Successful Day of Fishing. Every year it's Harambe for the holidays. Kwanzaa show, we present it as a stage play, but for this year, you will have a live stream version where we will be streaming in people from the continent of Africa to talk about the principles, as well as presenting the stage play as well. So just so you know, Corey, we've got people saying good morning already. We have Sid, the cool kid, Antoine saying good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Sid, the cool kid.
And Shine Bright is also saying good morning. Happy Friday Eve.
Shine bright, shining bright. All right, thank you.
Shine Bright is ready. And, actually the weather outside, Corey, just so you know, it is warm. No, not warm. It looks warm. It's sunny and bright, but it's actually pretty frigid out there. So let's go on to our word on the street and bring in our special guests.
It's time for today. And to bring you the word on the street are two of our watoto, and in Swahili, that means children. We have Christiana and Camille.
All right, here they are with today's word on the street.
Mzeri asubuhi, everyone. That means good morning.
Good morning to you too. Can you say it one more time? Slowly.
Mzeri asubuhi. Asubuhi.
All right. So
nice.
They're learning Swahili. What's today's word on the street?
Today's word on the street is kuumba.
Kuumba, what are the Kwanzaa principles?
That means using your creative intelligence to help others in your community.
Using your creative intelligence to help others in your community. And that could mean that you can help come up with creative solutions to things that might need to be improved in your neighborhood or your community. Or it might mean that you're using your creativity to bring positive art forms like Mr. Broderick's wonderful portraits, or Atumpan's annual Harambe for the holidays, or other creative expressions of art to your community.
Now, just so you know, Corey, Miss Grace is saying hello. She says, Corey, welcome. Now, she says Corey Akwaba, which is Twi, a Ghanaian language that means welcome. And Zenobia is here saying hi to my favorite family. So that's a hello to you as well, girl. So make sure you wave and say hello to Miss Zenobia.
Akwaba, Miss Grace, Akwaba, Zenobia.
Now, you two ladies have been a part of our Harambe for the Holidays show for years now.
Miss Zenobia and Miss Grace?
Oh, no, not those two ladies. Coco and Christiana. Do you have any favorite memories from the Harambe from the Holidays production?
You can go first.
I like the one when I was the lion cub and got lifted up in the air.
Oh, you were a lion cub that year. Yes, absolutely. And you were lifted up in the air. Yes. What story was that, Corey? Do you remember which story?
That was the story, actually the story that I'm going to finish today about Ijapa and his long, wavy hair.
All right, so go ahead, Christiana, tell us yours and we'll get right into story time.
I think my favorite is all of them, but after the show, because everybody's so happy, and then like all the people in the audience, they come out and they're like, oh my gosh, you did such a good job. And then family comes out and they give you hugs and stuff, and everything's just so nice.
So really it's the whole experience that makes it a really fun time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so good. Thank you guys for sharing your favorite experiences from that show. That's going to happen again this year, December 26th, the day after Christmas. Our Harambe for the Holidays Kwanzaa show is a successful day of fishing. We hope you all can partner with us. Simply donate through our Cash App. Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. Corey and I are the co-founders of Atumpan, the nonprofit organization that puts this production on. So we're going to say goodbye to our guests until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, Corey, are you ready to finish up your story from yesterday?
Yes, in today's story time with the blind guy, well, I should say yesterday's story time with the blind guy, we met Ijapa the turtle, who is a trickster character from Nigeria, West Africa, and he missed out on an important announcement telling everyone to come to the elephant's house to get ready for the lion's end of the year harvest celebration. We're going to see what happens when Ijapa stops looking at his long wavy hair and jumps to conclusions. Now, Ijapa was busy looking at his long wavy hair, and when he heard the sound of music and smelled food, he began to walk towards the sound of the music. And when he got closer, he saw that the animals were at the elephant's home, and they looked like they were getting ready for a party. Ijapa jumped to conclusions and said, "Hey, this bald-headed pachyderm is having a party and did not invite me. He's jealous of my long wavy hair. I'll teach him a lesson." So Ijapa went up to the soup pot and began to eat and eat and eat until he heard the elephant coming to stir the pot. Ijapa saw there was still stew in the pot, so he took the hat off that he was wearing. He scooped up what was left of the stew and bloop, put it down on top of all of his
long wavy hair.
Ijapa then tried to make a fast turtle getaway.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, snap.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ijapa, for once you were listening and paying attention. You were invited to the lion's party too. Come, bring me your drum, and we will help you decorate it with leaves and flowers or
Adonkate.
But Ijapa was not listening because that soup in his hat was very
hot.
It started to drip down his
back
into his
shell
and down the turtle parts that we won't talk about. Ijapa jumped and shook and no! When he jumped into the air, his hat fell off. Out poured the soup he was hiding, and guess what else came off his head?
His long wavy hair.
And that was the day that all the animals discovered Ijapa never had long wavy hair at all. He was really wearing a wildlife weave. And Ijapa was so embarrassed, he hid in his shell and would not come out. And that is why turtles hide in their shells to this very day, because they don't want anyone to see their bald heads. So remember, we must always make sure that we
listen
to other people around us because they all have something important to say.
This way we can also find out how we might work together, use our creativity, our kuumba, which is our word for the day. So when you're not listening, you don't get those details. And so remember, Corey, always listen to your wife. Let's get on to today's guest.
Speaking of kuumba or creativity, we're going to grab our guest who comes to us all the way from the New Orleans, the Crescent City. We are going to bring on a fabulous visual artist. And again, we met his wife yesterday. We call her the real life Princess Tiana. He is her real life Prince Naveen from The Princess and the Frog. I'm pretty sure as a husband, though, every now and then he gets called the Shadow Man. But but nevertheless, he's a very talented visual artist. We're going to bring him on right now. He's our good friend, Mr. Broderick Antoine. Let's give Broderick a big round of applause and welcome.
How y'all doing?
How's it going, Broderick?
Good. Can't complain.
Good. Now, Broderick, we met under some pretty funny circumstances. I'm a museum educator, and I was working at a museum, and I'll just say it like it is. I was being trifling that day. I didn't want to come out and do my normal drumming and storytelling session.
Well, just so that you know, Corey, in lieu of you being trifling, people are happy for Broderick. They are clapping, Sid the Cool Kid, Antoine, and Shine Brighter saying, welcome, Broderick.
So Broderick and his family were there at the museum, and I came out to do the story time and tell them how we end up actually becoming more family than we are friends.
Yeah, let them know. While you let them know, we will be looking at the artwork behind you because I know that those are all your doing. You have hand drawn and painted those. So go ahead and tell us the story.
Well, it was definitely not a coincidence. We were just getting ready to leave the museum, actually. And just before we left, we heard an announcement that Mr. Corey would be performing and drumming, I guess. So when we heard that, we turned around and we said, you know what, let's go ahead and do this one last thing before we go. We sat down and we saw Mr. Corey, start to drum and tell a story. We got into it and we really liked it. So the whole time I'm wondering, he must know of some type of like company, dance company is something we get into because everywhere we go when we move, that's the first thing we look for. It's a place where we can go, and be a part of some type of dance company.
Right.
So what really confirmed it is when Miss Fanice came and started dancing. She started doing African dance in the doorway. And when she did that really like aroused our curiosity. We have to, talk to them and see what we can find out. So afterwards, after the performance was over, I decided to come up and talk to Mr. Corey, ask him about, if he know any type of company, dance company, or if they have one themselves. He said yes, and I, called Nikki and Sydney. They came in right behind me. And we set up a date to meet up. And ever since then, it's been, we clicked. It's been a family.
And you've been a great addition to our family. I know last year for our 2019 Harambe for the holidays, which was called The Sun and the Moon, Nikki played the part of the queen in the first story, Kofi Wants the Moon. And then she played a rabbit, a hip-hopping rabbit, and the lion at the river in the second half of the show. But you had a key role in that as well, designing one of the backdrops. You want to talk about that?
So while you talk about that, I'm going to share the screen here of just a video that shows, actually it says it'll be ready soon. It's not ready right now. We're going to get on over to your page. I'm going to pull up that particular backdrop. And this picture here is from your Instagram where you have some of your other paintings, but the waterfall in the back is what was a part of the show. So tell us about this creation.
Right. So the inspiration was the what is it? Not the Falls.
Victoria Falls.
Right. I really liked that particular. It was mostly from a picture, but I kind of added my creative touch to it, like the sky. And I like that whole. I kind of enjoyed doing it. That's what mostly got me through it because that was a big piece. It's maybe 8
The 8x10, yep. 8 feet by 10 feet. 8 feet tall and 10 feet wide.
So Broderick, how did you get started in art? With your artwork. I see here, for example, there's a family photo, and this is like so detailed. It's like you've drawn a whole entire family, but it looks like a photo. How did you get started? How did you know you had these talents? And where did this all come from?
So I was never interested in drawing portraits, really. I haven't started drawing portraits until maybe 6 years ago, even though I've been drawing for maybe the past 19 years. So it really started while I was on a boat on deployment. And I just wanted to draw. I wanted to make a picture, like a gift for Nikki. I drew a picture of myself together.
So Nikki is your wife. I'm just going to go out here to show your wife, Nikki. She's the dancer. She was here yesterday. And Nikki is your wife. And you two met in New Orleans. And before you were even in the Marines, right?
Navy.
In the Navy. I just make up any sort of military branch. I'm sorry.
Yes, we met before the Navy. We got married right after boot camp.
Ah. And then with your training, did you have formal training? Were you just naturally gifted? How did this come about?
Naturally gifted. I mean, I had a little bit of a push in high school. I went to NOCA, which is the New Orleans Creative, the New Orleans for Creative Arts.
Mm-hmm.
They introduced me to more, medias like paint, charcoal, 3D, woodworking, printmaking. I even did a little bit of pottery. So they kind of opened the horizon for me.
Right.
Now, your talent, you're a very talented visual artist. People were always marveling at what you do whenever you've drawn things. And you've had opportunities just working, being part of the Atumpan family, the Atumpan Dance Theater family with Nikki. We've actually had you do work at Jamestown and Williamsburg, where you were doing sketch art there. You've done work for the museums, and you've gotten several commissions for portraits from across the country. And in the background, there's a sample of your work, and I know two of them are Nikki's, two versions of Nikki. And then you have some. You want to tell us who you got featured there in the background?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I realized that we were not sharing our screen, and so I'm just going through some of your Instagram. Hopefully, everyone can see that now. And then I'll head over to that's your logo actually, Eye Brodrick.
Yeah, that was actually a commissioned piece. That wasn't my logo. Is an eye, but that was for someone else.
Wow. Okay. I was thinking it looked a little different, but I was like, hey, it's yours, And so I'm going to, and there's that waterfall that we were speaking of that was featured in the show. So I am going to head over to some of your other things in the background while you talk about it. So go ahead, tell us about. Go ahead, Corey. You can ask them the question.
Now you have some artwork back in the background. We want to talk. I know you told me two of those drawings are of your wife, Nikki, and so that's obvious that she's a great inspiration to your work. Who else have you done sketches of back there behind you?
So this is Maggie Walker, which was the first African American woman to pretty much run a bank.
Oh, okay.
People are saying beautiful artwork, shine bright, and LaShonda Brooks says beautiful.
In the back here, I have Maya Angelou, and on my left, right here, I have Rihanna.
And
who in the middle is Nikki.
Right, that's Nikki in the middle. There is a particular. let's see if I can look on your Instagram. There's a few different things that you show on your Instagram that I think people might be interested in seeing. So let's head over to there and see.
And if you guys are interested in getting commission work, it's a great way to give a gift with the holiday season coming up as far as Kwanzaa is concerned, or for someone's birthday, Mother's Day, anniversary. Broderick is a very talented artist. He can take a family portrait or a wedding picture and turn it into a painting and really give you a fabulous gift to give to someone. So head over to his Instagram page, Eye Brodrick.
Eye Brodrick. Now that means that if you have a puppy, look at that cute little dog. I know you don't care for dogs, Corey. To have your own.
I don't catch it own my own dog.
You don't want to own your own dog, but look at this. He can draw a portrait of you with your dog or just the dog by himself. You know, he is just so detailed. So Broderick, let me ask you this. I see this picture of Sydney down here. I'm going to, this is an anniversary photo, Corey, that someone had him create, but I see this picture of his son, Sydney. Tell us a little bit about this picture.
So that was our first collaboration between me and Sydney. I drew him, but he was so anxious to draw and that he drew all over my pictures. And it was Nikki's idea that I just kind of let him do whatever he liked over each portrait that I do of him. So that was kind of the result of that.
Because Corey, just so you know, there's like a couple of scribbles here and there on the photo. Okay. And it's so funny because the sketch is of Sydney with his mouth open and his eyes wide, like, uh-oh. And so it really fits that, okay, this is the one he decided to tamper with. Right. And just so that you know, people are spotting that artwork behind you. Shine Bright says, I see Riri back there. Rihanna.
Oh, okay. Who?
Yes, Rihanna. And
He
so
that one as well.
Say that again.
He waited till the paint was dry. He also added his touch to the Rihanna paint in the back.
Mm-hmm. And this is just another close-up of the backdrop that we had as a part of last year's Harambe for the Holidays show. Roger, tell us about your experience with Harambe for the Holidays. What did you think about it? What was your experience with Kwanzaa before being a part of this show? And, you know, at this point, where are you? Especially this year is so different.
So I didn't have any prior experience with Kwanzaa, but my experience with you all was it kind of opened my eyes to a lot, brought me closer to the culture. And it was a lot of first experiences for me. For one, experience in Kwanzaa. Two, you know, creating this artwork on the scale I did, and being a vendor, and you know, presenting my work to the public pretty much. So it was a big step as far as me being an artist.
And one of the good things about Broderick as a sketch artist, because he's actually been at different events where he's set up to draw on the spot sketches of people, he is very, very fast. And I'm talking about like 10, 15 minutes fast. And he gets and the people say, that looks just like me. And that's sometimes doesn't happen when you have a sketch artist draw. He's like, that doesn't look like me. And so he's very quick with his work and very talented. And Broderick last year was a jack of all trades. He painted the backdrop. He hung the backdrop. He removed the backdrop. He was a stagehand. He was a wrangler for the little kids in the backstage during the show. He did some of everything for Harambe for the Holidays. So he truly was the exemplified Harambe or pulling together.
Yes. I do have a question for you also, Broderick. You see the picture on the screen right now of Chris Brown?
Yes, I do.
So this one is like true to life. And so I'm going to put your phone number on here. We can call or text you or DM you on Instagram at Eye Brodrick for commissioned pieces, because you definitely offer commissioned pieces. People can pay you to create something. And how exactly does that work?
So it will start basically. You can give me a call, and we pretty much figure out what you want as far as how many people, the size, uh, the 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 background, all of that plays a part in coming up with a quote. Which
Mm-hmm.
once we figure all of that out, and then I would sign a certain window of maybe start to finish of maybe a week, duration of maybe a week, and that'll be it. That's pretty much the process. Now I'll get it done. After I sign that week to you, then
Got it.
I'll for you out. I can mail it out as well.
Right. Like this lady is a happy customer. You created this photo for her.
Yes.
She sent the picture to you and you sketched it out. You put the details in there that she asked for, and wow. One thing that I wanted to also show was last year, or actually, I think that was this year, when we were in Williamsburg.
That was
This year, right before the pandemic and everything shut down, you created you were there with us at the museum, and then you were also with us that night at the juke joint. And so your wife was dancing, you had your artwork down the hall, and people could come and engage and interact with you. So that's Atumpan Dance Theater, working with some of the other artists. There's your wife, Nikki, there at the near the camera smiling. We had our photo booth set up. We were creating face paint, but you, the artist, you were live right there for people to interact with. And then that night, I don't know how you did it, but at the juke joint, you brought out your artwork, you had your sketches there, and you were a champion. I don't know if you had any of that wine, but anyways,
Yeah.
Nikki was even there, helping and assisting. The band was live. The folks just had such a great time with you. And thank you. You even sketched Corey and myself, and you even sketched a scene of the juke joint. Did you have any comments about that particular day?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate even the invite to the juke joint because that was the experience that kind of reminded me of home. I got
Mm,
into it. That's what inspired me. Just the environment, the people. We loved it. That's what inspired the drawing of the juke joint. I just got it. Just kind of enhanced my creativity a little bit.
right. And Corey, just so that you know, Zari is saying, "Hey, Auntie." Hey, Zari. She didn't say hello to you, but I guess it's for both of us.
She knows. She knows. That's what she knows. I'm her favorite uncle. So she knows. She says hi. She has to make you feel special. That's why.
Oh, got it. All right.
So you said that you were definitely enjoying the juke joint. So instead of Prince Naveen and Princess Tiana, I guess y'all were Suge Avery and whoever else was in Color Purple.
Don't listen to him, Roger. We have truly enjoyed you today, and your information is there. It'll be in the description of this episode, and we encourage people to definitely go check Broderick out at Eye Brodrick on Instagram. That's his Instagram handle. You can text or DM him right there. And just so you know, Corey Zari says, yes, you are my favorite. And so, and so it's been great having you here today.
So Broderick, yeah with the yeah.
Oh, that's a New Orleans saying.
Right on.
Oh, that's a New Orleans saying.
So we're gonna put you backstage, hang out back there for a moment as we move on to today. Chef LaQuita Marie is going to present the plant-based treat of the day. Today's plant-based treat.
All right, guys. So for today's plant-based treat, we have something delicious for you. Someone asked me yesterday about using fonio for overnight oats, but I could not make that happen. I tried it. I don't think fonio works the same way with the chia seeds or something. I don't know, but this is the main ingredient. So we're going to get you guys right into the plant-based treats so that you can see how this works. So with our plant-based treats, it's overnight oats, and here goes. Siobhan says they couldn't hear the audio. Yes.
What time is it right now?
11:47. Alrighty, guys. I know the audio was hard to hear. My apologies. Hopefully you saw the instructions, and it's basically oats, chia seeds. Chia means strength. And then, of course, there's milk. You can always add the yogurt. And this is a dish that's ready in about 2 hours. It really doesn't take overnight. And you can add as much or as little or no sugar to it. And it's really great for everyone. We eat it as adults. It's great for kids. It's portable. And I agree with Shine Bright. She says, Chef quickly.
Yeah, it's very delicious. And like I said, we wanted to thank you for joining us for this episode of Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow as we head towards the weekend with our next upcoming segments. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow at 11:15 for our broadcast.
We've got special guests tomorrow, Living My Best Life in Ghana. So if you want to hear from our friends over in West Africa, tune in tomorrow, 11:15.
Until then, we say deuces.
Deuces. Just so you know, Corey, Erica Roberts agrees. It's so yummy.
Had to get that in there before we signed off.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.